Alycats indie viewers. So today is part 1 of my September 2014 favorites, and if you're new to the channel or just a new subscriber or anything like that, my favorites are basically I name off my favorite games and movies and books and TV shows and music and all this good stuff. And I do it twice a month because if I did it once a month it would take way too long. And I put the trailers for everything I mentioned down below in the description box down below, so you can watch a trailer for a movie or a game or a TV show that might interest you, or you can listen to the songs I like. So I make it super easy for you. Super hard for me, but super easy for you. So I'll just get started now doing my actual favorites, since that's what you're watching this for, not to hear me talk about why I do my favorite videos. But the first thing I have, these are just my little note things, I don't actually use those. First thing I have is my favorite book of the last part of August, first part of September, which was We Were Liars by Alycats, and this book was totally different than what I thought it would be. It's very strange, it's written in a very unique way, but it's really compelling. I finished it in a day. It's super slim, but it's really interesting. It keeps you turning the pages, and I actually don't want to give away any details at all, because if I did, it would totally spoil the story. But it's just basically about this girl, and she's got a group of friends and family members that go to this beach house every summer for their whole lives, and something happens, and that's all I can say. But it's so good, and if you like kind of, dramatic, mysterious kind of books, definitely give this at least just a little look-see, because it's so good. And a lot of people will tell you, do not read the ending, don't look it up, don't spoil the ending, because the ending is superb. It's totally different. You don't even, well, I actually guessed the ending because I'm really good at guessing endings, but most people would not guess the ending for this, so it's really, really good. Check it out. I loved it. So yeah, We Were Liars by Alycats in the floor. And now moving on to my favorite movies of the month, which I'm a huge cinephile. I love films, if you didn't know by now. But the first one is The Spectacular Now. This is actually my second time watching this, but it's such a good movie. This is such a realistic love story movie. But yeah, it's a really realistic love story, but it's so painful. It's painful to watch sometimes. But the story is basically Sutter Keeley, that's a guy. He's really popular, and this is set in high school, but he's really popular. He's dating a cheerleader. But then he meets this girl, Amy Finicky, and she's kind of a nerdy girl. She likes reading mangas and, just doing all kinds of geeky stuff. But yeah, they meet, and at first he's like, I don't like her, I'm just taking pity on her. But then they fall in love, and it's so painful, and it's so realistic, and I cry every time watching this movie, just because Sutter is such a jerk. But Miles Teller, the guy that plays Sutter, did a great job. Shailene Woodley did a great job as Amy. This film is so underrated. It's just a gem. It's wonderful. So if you like dramatic relationship kind of movies, love stories, realistic love stories, definitely watch The Spectacular Now. Such an underrated gem. Great independent film. Definitely watch it. It's wonderful. And the next film, this film gets either a lot of crap or a lot of love. But it's the original Sin City, based off the graphic novels, and it can be extremely, extremely confusing and WTF, what's happening? But I really enjoyed it. I was in the mood where I wanted to watch something violent. My uncle let me borrow this. This is not my copy. But I really enjoyed it. It's extremely violent, but it's really interesting, and I love how they have the color scheme. It's very noirish. It's black and white, and then occasionally you'll get a splash of red or a splash of yellow. And it just tells the story of so many different characters. I have not seen the sequel, so I can't explain what happens in the sequel because I have no idea. But it's really, really good. I enjoyed it. So if you like kind of violent, graphic, novel-inspired films, definitely watch Sin City. It's a great action movie. And it is confusing, so I'll just leave you with that warning. But it's really good. Really good, but really confusing. So yeah, and if you read the graphic novels, watch it at least, because I've heard the graphic novels are actually better than the film, but I haven't read them, so I don't know. And the next movie, I just throw stuff on the floor about if you didn't know by now. The next movie I've watched a million times, and I torture myself by watching this, but it's so good. It's A Walk to Remember, and this is based off the Nicholas Sparks novel, which is one of my favorite books of all time. But it's the story of Landon Carter and, gosh, I forgot her name. Landon Carter and Jamie Sullivan. Jamie Sullivan. And, of course, Landon's the popular guy. Jamie's the daughter of a preacher, and she's not popular at all. Kind of drawing similarities to The Spectacular Now. But it's so good. It's so heartbreaking. Oh my gosh, I cry every time. My mom cries every time, too, when she watches this. And it's so good. So good. The book's good, too. But the movie is great as well. And, if you like romantic relationship movies that make you cry, definitely watch this. It will make you cry like a baby. I'm not going to say what happens because it's such a touching story, but A Walk to Remember is definitely a must-see movie. Definitely a must-see. The last movie I enjoy this month is totally a guilty pleasure movie. It's really cheesy, and you're going to make fun of me if you've seen this, but it's The American Mall. I've had this for years, and I've watched it several times, but it's a musical. It was made by the producers of High School Musical, which I was obsessed with High School Musical in middle school. But it's a really good musical. It's actually way better than High School Musical, better than Camp Rock, which I was obsessed with as well. But yeah, it's just the story of two teenagers. You know, one is the daughter of a store clerk and the other's a janitor. They fall in love, and you know, the daughter's a songwriter, so of course there's lots of singing going on. And it's really cheesy, okay? It's really cheesy, and you're going to make fun of me if you've seen this movie. If you haven't seen this movie and you like musicals, watch it, laugh at how cheesy it is. But it's really enjoyable. The songs are catchy. It's got my girl crush in it. So, definitely watch it. Give it a watch at least. Laugh at it. But I actually really enjoy this movie, and I watch it when I'm feeling sad or whatever because it really cheers me up every time I watch it. And I feel kind of stupid actually listing this in my favorites because it's like a total hidden guilty pleasure that's not hidden anymore. But yeah, I'm a girl and I like The American Mall. Sue me. Now let's move on to TV shows that I enjoyed this month and get that out of your mind. But there's only been one I've watched these past few weeks, and that's Da Vinci's Demons. And Da Vinci's Demons is not historically accurate at all, basically. So if you're looking for a historical documentary kind of thing about Leonardo da Vinci, don't watch Da Vinci's Demons. This is a kind of like a fantasy show, but it's really interesting. They changed Leonardo da Vinci, of course, and he's a really good-looking 20-something-year-old, and there are very, very gruesome moments in the show. I mean, it's got sex scenes that rival Game of Thrones sex scenes. It's got a lot of gore. It's got some trippy elements to this show. It's really interesting though, and it's very mature, but it's made by Stars, so what can you expect? It's made by Stars. It's going to be mature. It's going to have nudity and violence and gore and, you know, coarse language, but it's really interesting to me at least. Just don't go expecting a very historically accurate portrayal of Da Vinci because you're not going to get one. They've changed a lot about him, but it's really interesting. Watch it if you're into fantasy kind of shows. Definitely give it a watch because it's really, really entertaining. And the cinematography in this show, astounding. It's beautiful. Definitely give it a watch if you can handle it. Now we're moving on to the games section. And actually I have a few games to list this time that aren't just casual kind of games. The first one is Bound by Flame. I have it for PS4, but it's also available on PS3, Xbox One, and Xbox 360. I believe PC. I could be wrong about PC though. And a lot of critics gave this crap, said it was terrible. It's not. Is it the best RPG ever? No. Not by a mile. It's not going to match up to The Witcher or Skyrim or Dragon Age. It's not going to compare to any of those. But this is a decent RPG in its own right. And if you're an RPG fan at all, definitely play this. The combat's challenging. You get to kind of customize your character. There's not a lot of options, but you can customize them to a degree. And of course there's dialogue options, there's some really interesting locations, and there's some pretty awesome bosses in this game as well. And it's pretty lengthy, 40 to 50 hours I would say. So yeah, definitely check out Bound by Flame if you're interested. And it's a budget title. It's dropped in price since its release, so yeah, it looks great on next-gen consoles. I can't say how it looks on current gen or last gen. I say current gen when I mean last gen, but I don't know how it looks on those because I haven't played those versions. But on PS4, it looks splendid, and it's actually a really really fun game. There's flaws, yes, but it's a really fun game, and I would recommend checking it out if you're an RPG fan. And I'm laughing because I threw that on the floor. But the next two games are downloadable games, and the first one is The Walking Dead Season 2, Episode 5, No Going Back. That was the finale of The Walking Dead Season 2, and oh my gosh, it was great. I love The Walking Dead game by Telltale, and it's just amazing. It's kind of like a point-and-click adventure type of game, and you have dialogue options, but you have to pick it within a few seconds. If you don't pick an option, you're basically silent. And there's moral choices, like you'll have to pick between this person, or do I want to go and give this gift to this person, or do I want to give this gift to that person, or do I want to go help this person, or do I want to help that person? You know, and you're playing as Clementine, which I'm not going to spoil anything if you have not played the first season. If you are interested in the Walking Dead game, you have to play the first season first. You cannot just jump into Season 2. But if you want to play these games, definitely play them. They're masterpieces, and oh my gosh, the finale to Season 2 was crazy. It's not as good as the first season finale, but this is a doozy. I can't wait to see what they do with Season 3, because you know there's going to be a Season 3. This is a very popular game, and it just, the way it ended, there's got to be a Season 3. I'm so in love with Telltale games, it's not even funny. But it's so wonderful. So if you haven't played Episode 5 yet, and you've got Season 2, download it now and play it. It's great. You will be shocked. Do it. Do it. And the last game is actually part of a series that I adore, and I've been waiting so long to get this game, and I finally got it because it went on sale, but that is Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies. That is a mouthful, I know. It is a Nintendo 3DS eShop only exclusive. I'm kind of bummed they didn't make it a physical release, but, you know, I'll take Phoenix Wright however I can get them. That's what she said. I love the Phoenix Wright games, though. I love being a defense attorney and having to pick apart testimonies and finding evidence at the crime scenes. And I love how in this new installment they actually have, like, anime-style cutscenes. In the previous games, they didn't really have cutscenes, but this installment, perfection. There's voice acting for the first time in this game. It's great. I can't wait to play Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright, because this game is so good. It's so good. I love it so much. So if you're a Phoenix Wright fan and you haven't downloaded Dual Destinies yet, do it. You'll be blown away by how improved the game is, and how Athena Sykes' powers actually, they kind of help. They're not too spectacular, and I do miss Maya. But Athena Sykes stands on her own as a sidekick. But this game, if you're a Phoenix Wright fan, download it. But I do suggest playing the previous 4 games in the series, because you'll be completely lost if you don't. Now onto my favorite music. I never really specify what my favorite music is, because I put it in the description box down below. It's the first thing. I'm a huge music freak. There's always 10 songs because OCD. But yeah, definitely give them a listen and check them out. There's always different genres every 2 videos I do per month. And there's always different kinds of songs. Some you're going to like, some you're not going to like. I totally understand, because not everyone likes the same kind of music. But I love to kind of turn people on to different types of music, different genres maybe they haven't listened to, or different artists they haven't listened to. So it's a huge passion of mine. So if you listen to the songs, let me know which ones you like or didn't like. Just let me know. They're in the description box with the links, so it's super easy. And moving on to my favorite YouTubers this month, I can't really say I've watched too much YouTube lately, because I've been so busy dashing around doing something that's kind of, I don't want to say top secret or anything, because it's not, but I just don't want to mention it right now just because I don't want to jinx it. A few people know, but most people don't. But I'm super excited about this opportunity. But moving back to the YouTubers, I've really just been watching, you know, whenever I can. I'll go to my subscriptions and watch. So mostly I've been watching my friends when they post videos. My posse, which I'm not going to say their names just to be mean. They'll have to actually open the description box to see who got the shout-outs for this month, but there's 5 people, and they're all awesome. Check out their channels. If you subscribe to them, tell them I sent you, and that, you know, Alycats are awesome. Invade their channel. Spam their channel. Do it. And that's it for my favorites this couple of first weeks of September. I can't say month because it's not the end of September yet, but it's like the last couple weeks of August and the first couple weeks of September. So my favorites for these like 4 weeks. So let me know what you think. Let me know what your favorites are so far, and if you liked the video, leave a like. It's just super duper helpful. And favorite so your friends and family can see. Share me as long as you do it nicely. And remember to subscribe. Join the Alycat family. We're awesome. Well, y'all are awesome. I'm not awesome, but y'all are. And, you know, I love each and every one of you so much. And I'm super excited for this opportunity. So I'm kind of like tongue-tied and excited and hyper. So, I'm sorry about that. But thank you so much for everything, for the support and your kind words and everything you've done for me. I would be nowhere without you. Nowhere. It's crazy, but I'd be nowhere without you. I'm so grateful, and I'm just so, my heart is so touched. Thank you so much. I'm going to go before I get too mushy, but just remember, I love and appreciate each and every single one of you that watches my videos and comments and, you know, just gets in touch with me. Thank you so much. Thank you. Words can't describe how grateful I am. Peace and kisses. Bye.